From one point, you should try to understand that we are not struggling for ourselves. We're struggling for humanity and the rule of law in European manner, in European understanding, struggling for Europe. The case is that the idea of imperial thinking was very popular in the 19th century. And after the First World War, it should be ended, but it was the Second, and now the Third World War began. That's the real Third World War, not only Ukrainian one. And that is why the case of humanity and case of helping people to fight against the aggressor, that is the main characteristics of the modern society. And maybe that is the idea which was emphasized by all the politics in the European Union and the European Council regarding the idea of helping. And the second position is human rights approach. The human rights approach means that we have to make a unified standards in not only in protecting human rights, but in combating the violations of human rights too. And not only with the judgments of the European Court of Human Rights, you know that that is the structural problem to Europe and to the ECHR too, that the implementation of judgments, the implementation decisions lasts years. We have the same position in Ukraine, we have the same position, for example, in Great Britain by some decisions, in many countries of European Union which are faced upon this situation. By the way, we have the same position with the decisions of the European Court of Justice regarding, for example, Poland and so on and so forth. So there are some ideas for implementing new era, and mostly we have to say that of new era of security, of creating a new security agreements in Europe and so on and so forth, because sometimes you know that some positions are not working properly because they should and they were created in the times of peace, and they are not working in the times of war. My experience of working with the United Nations Congress on Crime Prevention and criminal justice, these are the same situation when we have to implement a new norm, when we have to analyze characteristics of victims. It's connected not only now, it is connected not with the classical theory of victimology, which was due to one-handing first works and Mendelssohn's works in the field. Now it is connected with the ideas of widespreading the concept of the state of the victim, the collective victim of genocide, where we can't analyze it during a huge period of time. But, for example, it was very interesting, Drelingos versus Lithuania. So, and in this case, the idea of widespreading the notion of genocide in Convention of 1948 was done. And they say, the European Court said that it should be emphasized that, for example, victims of political oppression should be the victims of genocide too. Regarding, for example, the genocide in Ukraine during the Stalin's era, we have the same position, or genocide in occupied territory during German war, or genocide now in the territory occupied by Russian, when some people were fled to different parts of Ukraine. For example, when we're saying that we have 6 million of inhabitants who fled from Ukraine, try to understand that more than 10 million of people now are fleeing for their home. Well, regarding my monograph, it is very simple. It was the first, you know that in Ukraine we have double degrees. So one we have a PhD, a candidate of science, and the second is doctor ability, doctor's dissertation, which we have to produced too. And well, the first dissertation on victimology in Ukraine was my work in the millennia. Well, and one of the main ideas was to create, like in the principles or the charters of the rights of the victims in different countries, the same position as the charters of the rights in Ukraine. And one of the last decrees of our president, Mr. Kuchma, in 2004 was devoted to this question, and we created the draft of this decree, and I'm very happy to be in this team for doing that. But since this time, since 2004 in Ukraine, or well, not only in European position, it's a standard situation. On one side, we say, well, we have, the victim has the right to redress, to compensate, and so on and so forth. Yes. But from the other point, it is connected, for example, with the money. And some states are giving money from budget, like Germany, yes. Some states are giving this money from criminals, like the United States, because their victim compensation fund is funded by the money of fines. Criminals that committed felonies are fined an additional fine. Well, the same situation we have to do in Ukraine now, because we have drafted an amendment to our criminal code, due to which all the money which were given by criminals from fines should create a special trust fund for compensating a victim. But the idea is still in work because of war, because of complicating the situation to our government, which is another problem, and so on and so forth. Regarding the idea, well, of victims of abuse of power, yes, we have this position in United Nations Declaration, but the case is that abuse of power is the main element of modern life in all the societies. I can't say anything about corruption, but well, the cases which are connected with the abuses, misuse of law, not abuse, but misuse of law. I mean misuse of law, well, because of my special powers which I have, yes, as a governmental officer and so on and so forth. That's not the case of corruption, but that's the case of well, special judgment, what not understanding or not implementing some rights during some period of time. And that is why that's a very, very, not complicated, but it's a very interesting process to unify the concept of rule of law. From one point, European understanding of the rule of law is very sensitive because, well, it has some elements to break. Some elements which should be victimized, pardon me for taking this term, victimizing the rule of law, but that is the fact. They are victimizing the rule of law nowadays life by the case of enemy. It is not very popular in some part of Europe, but we know that there is an element of some cultures. For example, darknet and their culture, drug addicts and so on and so forth, we have this part. And these are always victim. Yes, they're victimless victim because they have urge to be victim, but the case that they exist too, and we have to do something with them too. So that is why when we are saying about human rights and human rights abuses, well, and the victims of that, as for me, that's an element of traditional victimology theory. That's not a part of making some suggestions in getting more and more analysis of them. They are the typical victims. That is the same situation we have in different regions, in different processes. The victims of political abuses, for example, in some countries like Georgia, well, or victims of economy abuses, which we have in Ukraine. Well, we have justice, yes. We have justified the violation, but we didn't know anything without that because we have no money. You know, that is not a joke, but in our north neighbor, yes, their constitution, they have had, I can't say they have now, they have had a norm which said that victims should be compensated from every damage from the state. The norm was first did, the Constitution, yes. And the people asked government and asked, well, for example, your car was stolen, yes. You sued the government and you sued the state due to the constitutional norm, and the judge said, yes, you have to be compensated, but we have no money. In the budget, we have no money for doing that. And that is the structural problem for, not only for Ukraine, that's the structural problem for Europe, for non-implementing of the core decisions up to nowadays. And that's always a victimology, a practical victimology indeed.